Welcome back. More disturbing testimony in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial today. Maxwell is charged with recruiting and transporting girls for Jeffrey Epstein to sexually abuse between 1994 and 2004. The first of 4 alleged Epstein victims expected to testify back on the witness stand. Using the pseudonym Jane, she faced a fierce cross-examination today from the defense. This one day after she went into detail about the abuse she says she suffered at the hands of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, starting when she was just 14. Her testimony yesterday implicated Maxwell not only for grooming her, but also participating in the abuse. Today, the defense went after Jane, attacking her memory as well as her credibility. They took her on about why she didn't mention Maxwell's role in the years after the incident, including the first time she now says she met both Maxwell and Epstein together. Quote, "You told your brother Brian you'd been approached by Epstein. Told your brother nothing about Maxwell being there? I don't recall." And then they challenged her on her testimony yesterday about Maxwell's alleged role in the sex acts. Quote, "It is true that you do not recall Ghislaine Maxwell ever touching you." That's not true, she said. You spoke to the government in December 2019 with your lawyers there, and you told them at that time that you were not sure whether Maxwell ever touched you during these encounters. I don't recall. The defense even going after the accuser for crying on the stand, bringing up her years as an actress. Quote, "You've played a protective mom, got into a car crash, had cancer, was stalked by a serial killer, took down a Mexican drug cartel. You played a prostitute." She said, "Not my favorite storyline. You're able to cry on command?" Not always. That's not how it works. There's also a brief mention of former President Donald Trump, the defense asking, "Mr. Epstein introduced you to Donald Trump, correct?" She said, yes. There was no mention of any wrongdoing by the former president. Then the prosecution got to question the witness again. They first asked about those meetings with the government in 2019 and why she couldn't recall more. Quote, "Because I was standing in a room full of strangers and telling them the most shameful, deepest secrets that I've been carrying around with me my whole life." Then they talked about the money she received as part of a settlement, the defense suggesting that there could be a financial motive for her. Quote, "Would you give that money back if it meant that you weren't abused as a kid? I wish I would have never received that money in the first place because of what happened." Joining us now is someone who may know more about this story and case than anyone in America. Vicky Ward, New York Times bestselling author, and the host of the podcast Chasing Ghislaine. She has been inside the courtroom. Vicky, good to see you. So what did you make of the cross-examination of Jane today?
I thought it was incredibly effective, Dan. In fact, the people around me were all actually questioning each other afterwards as to why the government hadn't prepared Jane better. After all, what Laura Menninger, the defense attorney, was doing was raising inconsistencies between what Jane had told the FBI and the government in the past 2 or 3 years with what she had said on the stand. The government has been in possession of those notes for months and months and months. You know, they must have known that the defense was going to poke holes at every single inconsistency. Why didn't they do a better job?
Yeah. And so is this potentially telling us that there's more to come of this? Meaning when the other accusers take the witness stand, with some of them, there's a long history there. And I think that there's a good sense of the sort of attacks that are coming. Are some people inside the courtroom suggesting that this is the beginning of the case falling apart?
I think that, look, if you're the defense, you're going to open with your strongest argument. If you're the prosecution, you'd think you would open with the best you've got. And so far, frankly, the government's performance, the witnesses they've called have been bewildering. Larry Visosky, Epstein's pilot of 30 years, was their opening witness, and his testimony was frankly much more helpful to Maxwell than it was for the government. He talked about what a nice person she was, that he'd never seen any underage women on Epstein's planes in 30 years, that he'd never seen any sexual activity on the planes, that he trusted his 2 young daughters with Maxwell. The government has been, the defense, Dan, has been very clear that their job here is to attack these government witnesses on 3 M's: memory, manipulation, and money. And yes, you're going to see them do this again and again and again. And today it was very, very effective.
So quickly, what was the reference to Donald Trump about today, and how is it relevant to the case?
Well, that remains to be seen. A number of men have been mentioned, and have a number of women, actually. We heard some female Christian names, first names coming in today that were surprising. It's clearly all part, they're laying a groundwork, and we're going to see how the jigsaw puzzle fits together as we go. But you can be sure Donald Trump's name is going to come up again. How and why? Don't know yet.
All right. Vicky Ward, the podcast is called Chasing Ghislaine. I'd also highly recommend anyone to check out her Substack. Vicky is one of the greatest journalists in the country, and she's just started a Substack, which I highly recommend. Vicky, thank you. Good to see you. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.